So John Collins has been rumored to be on the trade market for a couple months now, and with the Dallas Mavericks being a team that wants to buy into a guy that can play alongside Luka Doncic, essentially a second guy that can be a scorer and just basically take the load off of Luka Doncic on offense, John Collins could be that guy that the Mavericks are looking for. Someone that's not going to cost too much, but someone that can play very well alongside Luka. So today we're going to talk about John Collins, talking about the Mavericks side of things in terms of getting John Collins, why the Hawks would trade John Collins, and overall my thoughts on the trade overall. So we'll get into his stats right now. He's averaging around 13 points per game, 8 rebounds, around 1 assist, on around 50% from the field and 23% from 3. So looking at his previous seasons here, he's shooting a career low from the field and a career low from 3 too, which is something you don't want to see. He's played in 32 games in this season out of, I want to say 42. Yeah, around 42, 43. So he's missed a couple games, around like 10 or 11. So yeah, Collins, I mean, he is 25 years old, 6'9", 226 pounds. He can fit into the 4 if you want to, maybe even the 3 if you want to get a little bit risky. But yeah, I mean, Collins, he would be a great fit alongside Luka Doncic. His ability to pick and roll, his ability to catch lobs, being a very athletic finisher around the rim, someone that can shoot the 3-ball. I mean, yeah, floor spacer, someone that can cut. Sounds pretty perfect alongside Luka Doncic. Now, I mean, we have a guy like a Christian Wood on the team, obviously being a guy that can stretch the floor, someone that can handle the ball in the post. So, I mean, a guy like a John Collins would also be pretty great on offense. So, yeah, in terms of defense, I mean, a Christian Wood and a John Collins front court wouldn't be the greatest defensively. Especially, I mean, Christian Wood's a below-average defender, if not probably the worst defender on the Dallas Mavericks. John Collins, I wouldn't say he's that bad of a defender, but also not the greatest, so he's pretty average. And, you know, Luka Doncic, also a pretty average defender, maybe even above average if you want to go there. Guys like Dorian Finney obviously being the best defender on the team, and Spencer Dinwiddie. So, yeah, I mean, defensively, you don't get better, but offensively, you get a guy that can stretch the floor, someone that can cut into the basket, someone that can catch the lobs, and very athletic, first of all. I mean, Collins, he would be a great system match alongside Jason Kidd. The problem with this, I just see, is that it's probably going to take a lot to get John Collins away from the Atlanta Hawks. So we'll get into the Atlanta Hawks side of things right here. So if we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks, they're 19-21. They could decide to either blow it up or trade for a guy that's going to improve their roster. So looking at the roster, I mean, they have Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Obviously, those two guys are the basically cornerstone of their team overall. Clint Capella, great center right here. Someone that can, you know, catch a lob. Someone that's a great pick and roll guy. Bogdan Bogdanovic, great guy right there. AJ Griffin, their rookie, pretty great. Shows a lot of potential in terms of being able to score and being on defense. And just a lot of guys on this team that definitely have a lot of potential. DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson. I mean, even guys like Onyeka Okongwu, who has a lot of potential too. So, yeah, I mean, if they get rid of John Collins, I most likely see Okongwu slotting into the 4. Or maybe even DeAndre Hunter. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that the Hawks could do if they do decide to trade John Collins. The thing is, the trade package would be a lot. I would say it would be pretty weird for the Dallas Mavericks in terms of what they have, because as of right now, I mean, their assets aren't really too valuable. We'll get into some mock trades right here. So I have one trade right here from Clutch Points. So the Mavericks receive John Collins and the Hawks receive Reggie Bullock, Davis Bertans, a 2025 first-round pick, and a 2027 first-round pick that's lottery protected. So why do the Dallas Mavericks do this? So first of all, they get rid of Reggie Bullock and Davis Bertans, both horrible contracts for guys that don't play too well. And they get rid of 2 first-round picks that probably aren't going to be valuable, you know, in 2025 or 2027. Most likely, you're going to have Luka in his prime. And, you know, I mean, that's not going to matter too much in terms of, you know, drafting guys in the late first round. So, I mean, Luka Doncic, you can say whatever you want about him, but, I mean, by that time, he's going to be one of the best players in the league. So, for the Hawks, now, receiving Reggie Bullock and Davis Bertans is definitely going to bring in a lot of salary. And, you know, I know a lot of Hawks fans wouldn't like this trade, especially because Reggie Bullock, he's a fraud. Davis Bertans is a fraud. You do get 2 first-round picks, which could be pretty valuable, and you can decide to flip them in another trade. But, I mean, if you're the Atlanta Hawks, you probably want a guy like a Dorian Finney or a guy like a Josh Green. And in my eyes, you could definitely replace either Bullock or Davis Bertans with Josh Green. I mean, Josh Green, I think he's one of the more expendable assets on the team. And I know a lot of Mavericks fans love Josh Green too. But, I mean, if you're getting a guy like a John Collins, I mean, you might have to give up a guy like a Josh Green. So, yeah, you guys can let me know what you guys think about this trade, I mean, it's definitely underwhelming. You guys could switch in either Josh Green, maybe some other guys on the team. But yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, John Collins, he might be worth more than this. I mean, I don't even know if the Dallas Mavericks would even want to trade Reggie Bullock, Bertans, and 2 first-round picks. Obviously, to get rid of the Reggie Bullock and the Dallas Bertans contracts, it definitely would make sense. But they're basically getting 2 role players and 2 first-round picks in this. Now, they could ask for more, like I said, but this is pretty much the framework of a Dallas Mavericks and the Hawks trade for John Collins. So you guys can let me know what you guys think about this trade package. I think John Collins is definitely going to be in the trade block when the trade deadline comes around, but I mean, the Atlanta Hawks, they're kind of struggling right now. Looking at their record, 19-21, they just won against the Clippers, lost against the Lakers, and won against the Kings. So, I mean, they have to make at least some trade to improve this roster. So, you guys can let me know what you guys think about this. That's the end, and peace.